there's a woman, then in her ovaries there's an egg, and that in that egg there's another egg in the DNA, which is basically the grandchild. So you've got grandmother, daughter, grandma, daughter. That's 3 generations. So intergenerational trauma is when something, when somebody is really affected by trauma, it lives in their body, but there's also a biochemical response in their trauma by adrenaline, cortisol, etc. So that means if it's a female, the egg of the daughter of that female, the daughter of the daughter, is an egg in the egg of, so it's 3 generations basically. There's a woman, then in her ovaries there's an egg, and that in that egg there's another egg in the DNA, which is basically the grandchild. So you've got grandmother, daughter, grandma, daughter. That's 3 generations.
Okay, and so that is like when you say intergenerational trauma, you're talking about like what a excessive sort of cortisol or adrenal response to stress,
or a very traumatic event. So I see it a lot in refugees or people who have been displaced a lot. Their nervous system is shot to pieces. They're very hypervigilant, and they don't know actually what is. They never feel safe.
Yeah.
But they don't know how, because they've always lived, like for example, in Great Britain. But they know there's something wrong and they shouldn't be feeling like this, but they do.
Okay, so, and is this mainstream and like accepted by everyone, or is this
There's more research but it is generally accepted in science, yes.
Okay. And so it's like and is it like the epigenetic expression is affected by the stress of the original mother?
Yeah, it's basically a neurological and biochemical response, yes.
Okay. That's interesting. And so is there hope for these people in particular?
Yeah.
You can, like, what's the kind of treatment?
So I do a lot of EMDR, which uses bilateral stimulation, which is basically stimulation of the 2 halves of the brain. I also use a somatic approach, which is where I go, what do you feel in the body? Because trauma lives in the body too. It gets like stuck in the body. It never gets processed because it was a process that was never completed, if you so.
Okay.
So there are different therapies. Sorry, I'm really bamboozling you. So there are basically different therapy modalities that I would select for one particular individual, depending on who's sitting in front of me.
Yeah, when you say get stuck in the body, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so there is a really good book called The Body Knows the Score. It's by Bessel van der Kolk. I actually studied with him. He's a Dutchman, but he lives in Boston.
Okay.
And it's how trauma lives in the body and it's stuck in the body. So you may feel a sensation in your body, but you actually don't know where it's from. Mm-hmm. So that can actually manifest itself as unexplained pain or IBS or anything of that nature.
Okay, and what's the thinking on how does it get there? Like, how are the locations determined? Is it random?
No, there is like a list. Like back pain is a lot. There's a strong correlation between autoimmune disease like ME, MS, etc. Mm-hmm. It's not sure causation because there's not enough data to actually make a definite conclusion, but there's definitely strong correlation.